Hey there folks, Aldershot here, and today we're going to take a look at Hitman GO Definitive Edition. It's developed by Square Enix and it's available on Steam at the regular price, around $6 USD. So it's a bit of a cheapie, and there's a very good reason for that. That's because it's originally a mobile game that made its way onto Steam. So we'll take a look at the game, obviously, but let's just quickly go over some of the options because there's really not that much to go over. You have your resolution, you have full screen on or off, VSync, you can turn your music or sound on or off, and that's about it. You know, there's not even audio sliders. So to say the least, the options menu isn't exactly robust, but that probably has something to do with its mobile heritage, right? So let's just quickly jump into the game here. Now, obviously, Hitman Go takes place in the Hitman universe, but an interesting thing about this game is that it takes the form of a board game, essentially, right? So if Hitman was a board game, this is what it would be, and each one of these boards represent its own stages, and there's 8 in total. I've unlocked 3 so far, and you need so many tasks completed in order to unlock further stages or further boards, if you will, right? So let's just quickly go into the first board, just so I can show you guys some of the key mechanics, some of the key features. Now the first few levels are almost insultingly simple, but I guess it's good in order to kind of teach the player the very core of the game, right? So that just shows you how to move your character. Pretty basic stuff here. Over here kind of teaches you how to kill an enemy. Now, this being the Hitman game, it's all about being sneaky, right? So you're not going to want to be seen by the enemies, which are represented by these tokens in colored jackets. The blue jackets are basically bodyguards that stay in one place, that steer in one area, that kind of blocks your path. So what you're going to want to do is sneak behind them or on the side, and that way you can take them out, get them out of your way, and head to the goal, which is often indicated by these circular indicators. There we go, easy peasy. Like I said, the first few levels are almost insultingly easy, but the game definitely gets a lot more complex and a lot more challenging as you play through the game. In fact, I found her at around stage 1, round 7, so 1-7. That's when the game really started to pick up its difficulty, alright? So right now we're just kind of going over some of the basics, right? So right now we got more guards, so we jump over here, we'll die because he'll see us, and that's no good. So what we're going to want to do is come down here. We're invisible to him on their side, so we'll come down here as well. Take out this guy here on the corner, and you can move the board around by holding the RMB, just like that. And it does snap back into a, I guess, a default position after you release. But anyways, let's just take him out. Go over here. Now, it looks like we can take out this guy because he's not facing us. But if we do, we'll be spotted by this dude here. So we're not going to want to do that. We're going to want to come all the way over here, take out this guy, take out this guy, take out this guy, him, and then we'll go after the last dude. Just like that. So pretty easy stuff so far, but like I said, this is only the first few levels, which is again sometimes insultingly simple. So let's go to a more difficult one. Like I said, 1-7's when the game gets a little bit more challenging. So let's just take a look at that stage here. So over here is when it starts to introduce some basic features and mechanics that is a little bit more complex, right? And the game does that pretty well. As you progress through the game, as you finish more stages and more levels, it'll slowly introduce new mechanics for you to consider in your espionage, if you will, your assassin, or your assassination, or whatever, right? But anyways, these are rocks, so we hit a rock, we'll have the option, well, not really option, we just have to. We have to throw a rock in one of these adjacent spaces, which will attract the attention of the surrounding guards. So let's just throw it up here. And as you can see, it does have a field of influence, right? So you kind of want to consider where you want to throw your stones to make the most effective use of any given tool. So it looks like they're all going to be attracted over here. Let's just jump over here. Very good. Now let's throw the rock over here. And that'll track these guys. Alright. Now that they're all over here, let's grab this stone here. Throw it over here. Now we got all of these guys' attention, which will give us a little bit more space to play with by going up here. Just like that. We can go over here, kill this guy, and then reach our goal safely. Just like that, right? As you can see, when you finish a level, there are multiple tasks to complete. This one I've already finished all the tasks. We've completed a level, which is pretty simple. We've done it in 5 turns or fewer. And we also done it without killing anybody, right? Well, at least we did previously. We actually didn't. We actually did kill somebody at this stage, but previously we have. Now each stage kind of is its own puzzle, and there's definitely a definitive answer per stage, right? And the challenge of the game is to figure out what that definitive answer is. And it's going to be a lot of trial and error, so. The game does play on a lot of trial and error. It's not as creative as the original Hitman games, obviously. Like I said, there is a definitive answer per stage, but figuring out what that answer to any given puzzle is really the challenge of this game, right? And it does kind of lay on the challenge a little bit thicker through these few different tasks. I haven't collected briefcase in this level yet. Let's see if I can do that. I believe, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I believe this stage is actually relatively hard, if I can recall which one it was. I think it was 10. Yeah, I think it was 10. So let's see if we can get the briefcase here. Let's see, we'll grab the stone over here. Attract all the dudes up there. And maybe grab this rock. Oh, this is going to be wasted. No one's going to hear this. So not using your... Okay, here we go. Now, if we jump over here, we'll definitely die. So it looks like we're not going to get the briefcase. So let's just jump up here, finish the stage, just like that. Whatever. But that's essentially how the game works. Let's just go to another stage. So I'll show you some more complicated, I guess, setups, right? With more mechanics and all that kind of good stuff. This is the 3rd stage. I don't think I've played too much of this one, actually. I just unlocked it. Let's go over here. So this one's going to introduce us to the sniper rifle from the looks of it. I haven't actually played too much with that one yet. Over here is a bush. Bushes are kind of interesting in that, so they actually hide the player as they would in the original Hitman game. So we go over here, we can actually go on the same spot as an enemy because of it. So now we are free to grab the briefcase, go back into the bush so he doesn't see us. Come over here. Now we jump over here. This guy who keeps turning around will see us. So what we're going to do is try sneak around him just like that. Now he can see us, but because we landed in the space when his back was turned, that's okay. Okay, so now we can actually attack him, even though it looks like he's, facing us. So let's grab that sniper rifle, because I haven't actually played too much with it yet. So it looks like we can snipe out the guard over here, so we'll do that. That uses up our tool. Let's go back and get back to the goal, hopefully. So we go over here, we'll die. So let's see here. Jump over here. Jump down here, maybe. This guy's giving us a little bit of trouble here. So looks like we are kind of stuck, because it doesn't leave us with... Oh, here we go. There we go. Completed. Sometimes you can get yourself stuck, as I mentioned before. The game or each stage does present a very distinctive and very definitive answer to any given problem, right? So if you don't use your resources properly, if you waste your resources, or if you step in the wrong direction, let's just say, you can get stuck, and that's why there is a reset button, right? So the game is pretty challenging, simple on first inspection, but the more you play, the more you'll understand the complexities of the game. And over here you have trapdoors. Let me show you. Let me see if I can show you some of that mechanic here. There's also a whole bunch of other little kind of features and mechanics of the game that I haven't really fully featured on this video yet. Like for example, you can also disguise yourself. There are some pieces that allow you to dress up as the enemy, allowing you to kind of move around the board unnoticed by the enemy that you're dressed up as. However, if you get seen by enemies that you're not dressed up as, you'll still get killed, right? So that's how the decoy or the disguise mechanic kind of works. But that's just one example of the other many features and mechanics that this game has to present as far as solving puzzles are concerned. Like these plants and the trapdoors are kind of interesting as well. So there's a lot to this game, even though it seems pretty simple on first glance, right? And trying to complete every single task on any given level, that itself is a challenge. Some levels will require you to go through it more than once in order to complete all the tasks, unless I'm just bad and you can't actually complete them all in one go. I don't know. Just from my experience, you have to kind of play through some maps more than once in order to complete all the tasks. That's just my experience anyways, right? So it's pretty challenging, and I have to say, it's pretty addictive. The levels are fairly short, which definitely is because of its mobile heritage, but that also keeps it addictive and it keeps the pace going, right, for this game. I think I'll die here. Yeah, I will. Which is not a bad thing. It has that one more game syndrome, you know, that addictive value of, oh, just one more game. Let's see if I can figure out one more stage. But I'm doing horrible right here. Let's see if I can go back. Let's just go back to another stage I've already completed. So that way, I'm not failing over and over again. So yes, the game is pretty challenging, pretty addictive, and pretty satisfying for the most part. Albeit a little bit simple, at least on first glance, and it might not be for everybody because it is very, very puzzle oriented. It's not as action oriented as the original Hitman series, right? So if you're really into puzzle based games, Hitman Go might interest you actually. So over here is our decoy mechanic here. So this guy doesn't know that we're not one of his buddies, so he can stand the same tile as us, but we can take out his buddy here. Just like that, right? So yeah, the game is very well suited for people who are puzzle-minded or who enjoy puzzle games and all that kind of stuff. I don't know about strategy. Well, there's definitely a degree of strategy involved, right? But like I said, because of how definitive each stage, as far as how to complete it is, the strategy is not as versatile as actual strategy games. I would definitely look at this more of a puzzle game than a strategy game. Albeit, you know, there's definitely strategic elements to it, right? So let's just quickly go over some of the visuals of the game, right? I just kind of want to talk about the aesthetics a little, because I think it's gorgeous. I think it's a really good looking game, especially as a mobile port. It's very, what's that word I'm looking for? It has a very elegant look and aesthetic to it, right? Which is very well suited to the Hitman series. And if Hitman was a board game, I think this would probably be how it looks, you know? I think it's done a good job at conceptualizing the aesthetic. It does a good job at keeping with the design and the idea of it being a board game, while maintaining a pretty high caliber of aesthetic, of a design, if you will, right? It's very clean, it's very sterile, like I said, it's very elegant, right? Even the music is fairly elegant for a game like this, which is, you know, very, very well suited for a game this cerebral, right? It's it gives you this I'm a fancy pants smartass kind of feeling when you're playing Hitman Go, which is kind of what you want for, like I said, a more cerebral game, I guess. It's kind of like chess. It has a chess sort of elegance to it. But that's basically the aesthetics. I definitely like it. And I think it's priced appropriately at around $6 for a game like this, right? Considering that it is a mobile port, and there are limitations to it because of its mobile port heritage, if you will. Like, for example, I can't access the options menu unless I actually exit into the menu, all the way back into the menu, may I add, right? So that's a little bit annoying. And, you know, the buttons are huge, unnecessarily so, and that's definitely because of its mobile heritage and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's, as far as a port's concerned, they didn't really do too much as far as cleaning up the game for the PC. It looks like they might have raised the resolution, that's about it. But Yeah, it's essentially a port, but luckily for us, you know, the core game itself is very, very enjoyable and very, very fun, right? So I think it's a fairly, I think $6 is a reasonable price for a game like this. But anyways, that's essentially Hitman Go. It was pretty good, I have to say. I'm enjoying it, even though it is a mobile port, and it didn't really do too much in the way of improvements for the PC. But like I said, at least the mobile original was already pretty good, so you know it's gonna be pretty good on the PC as well. So yeah, Hitman Go, not bad, not bad at all. Pretty good for puzzle enthusiasts. Although it does kind of describe itself as a strategy game, I still kind of feel like it's more of a puzzle game because of how definitive each stage is as far as how to complete it, right? As most strategy games have more options and more versatility and experimentation as far as trying to complete any given situation, whereas this one is a lot more defined in how you're going to go about completing each stage. So, because of that, I want to call it more of a puzzle game than a strategy game, but with strategy game-like elements, if that makes any sense. But anyways, this is the Hitman Go. Pretty good. I enjoyed it. So hopefully you folks found this informative. Hopefully you found this enjoyable. And if you did, you know, show me some love. Like, share, fave, and comments. And if you haven't already, you know, click that little red button. Subscribe. Help this little channel grow into something, you know, a little bit bigger. That'd be kind of cool. Thanks for watching, everyone. All the shout outs.